Hey guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to session 5 of our campaign in Alandressa. Today, as ever, we have Mars, Tats, uh, Katie, Shen, B, and Steve. How's everybody doing?
Doing all right.
Okay.
I'm all right. How are you?
My get up and go has got up and gone. But apart from that, I'm doing alright. Today, we've got a new mechanic that I'm using in stream. Because a lot of the things that we use channel points for in my stream is they're actually interactive. But because you only get 120 points per hour with Twitch, which I can't change, and I don't want people to always be spamming, custom magic items. One of the things that I've introduced today and going forward is predictions. So you can use your channel points and basically bet on an outcome, and if that outcome comes to pass, then you win basically double your bet points because it's a 50-50. Then you can use those channel points towards buying things. And we've got one of those things already from an active viewer who was actually a player in my first campaign and has been in my stream for many years.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Let's go for a recap, shall we? Let me just bring up my notes. So last time, and let me get some music playing as well, because we like to have our music playing, and I've just realised that it's not. It's very silent. So last time, you guys all made your way towards Dreidel. You found the people that you needed to find. You had found Rumpelstiltskin, who gave you some insider information about certain things, and pointed you in the direction of Merlin's Tower. You've still not yet found Sir Curly, but now having spoken to Merlin, I think that Ruby is quite happy to go and find them. Someone means anybody, NPC or player. So yeah, I think that that's top on your priority list. Since Ruby has discovered that potentially she is a clone of Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother, Ruby Joy. And that Sir Curly has been in the fur market trying to sell clones of that kind. Which may be new information to the rest of you, since you were not quite aware of that background, I don't believe.
Nope.
Correct.
We also have found the answer to the 2 words that Victor found on that piece of paper. The piece of paper that just had the 2 words "falls unclean." Victor has now discovered the full rhyme. The full rhyme being with hollow voice in an empty bed, 1,000 needles through your head, we stalk the night and day unseen, we reach for light that falls unclean, being the motto of the Acolytes of the Hollow, Loki's followers. We have had multiple little magical things, many cursed, but now Merlin has given Ruby a bag. The bag goes by the name the Big Bag of Exquisite Gifts. Ruby has now got that in her player inventory. I have created it for you. You also have a magic item in there. Something that was created by one of our viewers. With some examination and some... perhaps you attune to them, perhaps you wear them, perhaps you give them a go. You might find out exactly what they do. but if Ruby cares to look into the bag, I can describe for you now these this item.
Take a look at the bag. Do we need to click on it, or are you just describing?
I could just describe. So, Ruby, as you open up this like leather messenger bag, it's like a very like, as you can imagine, rustic old leather bag. It looks like it's been weather worn, but on the inside it's very much like a bag of holding, in that it's like an extra dimensional space. So magical items can fit in here so long as they can get through the opening. There's no real weight limit to it. But we will obviously cap it if you get to a point where you've got so many magic items that you become OP. And basically, as you reach down inside to try and find what Merlin may have alluded to, you find a pair of shoes. One of them is quite well, like, they've got like a lovely, like, pleated sort of stitch on the toe part. They've got like they're sort of like black leather, like almost brogues. The one of them seems quite sort of slick and well cared for. The other one's a little bit more rough around the edges, but they are certainly a pair. And there is a glow of magic about them. Every item in this bag is going to be magic, so you don't need to do an Arcana check, because I will literally just say, "Aha, it's magical." So yeah, these are a magic item. It's up to you whether anybody wishes to wear them. They will fit anybody who wants to try.
Ruby kind of recognises that shoes aren't quite her jam, and just kind of holds them out to the group as an offering.
Aldrin's curious about them. Because a new pair of shoes would be nice. And
I don't.
That's what they're thinking about.
I don't need shoes, so I'm not.
My boots are reasonably well kept, so please go ahead.
Okay, I guess Aldrin would try them on then.
Cool.
See how that goes. Why not?
Good stuff. Nothing in particular really stands out to you at this point about them. They do require attunement, and that takes an hour. But you've got the slots, I believe, so you can attune to these. Now, speaking of an hour, this begs the question: you guys have been through battle. You have not had a rest of any kind since, short or long. My question to you is, what do you want to do in terms of rest before you go ahead and find the rest of the people that you're looking for? Rumpelstiltskin, you assume, entered into the sewer grate, and you've not yet found any grates since then. And you obviously were also in search of Sir Curly, who you knew to be at the mayor's office. Is there any kind of rest that you want to be having at this point?
I think I'm okay mostly. It's up to everybody who might need it for recharging other things.
Yeah, I think there's still some people who are a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah.
Ruby would enjoy a rest.
Yeah, I think a
How
rest.
about a
is
short
in order.
rest?
Okay. So, with a short rest, please feel free to do that on your character sheets. It's the little knife and fork looking icon at the very top right. So yeah, if you just click that and say yes, and then it will automatically apply a short rest to all of the tokens and numbers that you need. It should also ask you if you wish to roll whatever hit die you want to. But yeah, you can take a rest here. Absolutely. Now, as you go to take this rest, and as Aldrin takes time to sort of attune to these shoes, Aldrin,
the new gear.
Aldrin, you start to notice that they've got like they've got something about them. that's different to any shoe that you've had before. And let me just drop this into your inventory out of the bag of exquisite gifts. Has that gone in? Yes, it has. So it should be in your inventory as a pair of shoes. So you are attuned. It's up to you whether you wish to equip them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So if you equip them, then you will get bonuses assorted with them.
Yeah.
So it's just the little shield icon on the right-hand side of the thing.
And so equipping them means
You're wearing
they're
them.
attuned and they're wearing.
Exactly.
Correct? Okay. We're gonna actually take these shoes off.
Oh, okay.
And Aldrin's gonna be a little like, right now they're not quite fitting right.
All right. Anybody else want to try them now that Aldrin's attuned to them for the last hour?
I'm okay. My boots are quite comfortable. Thank you.
I don't think I need shoes. I'm good, thank you.
Okie dokie. Nobody else?
I'm good without shoes, thank you.
So no one's going to use the magic item. Okay, great, wonderful.
I'm holding
Love
on
that.
to them.
I mean, it's
They
not
could be
gonna
used
fit me.
later.
I have talons for toes. I'm good.
Like I said, it will fit anybody who wishes to wear them.
I don't think my character would want them, just personally.
That's fine. I will say that they give you a plus 10 foot bonus to walking speed. So, it's up to you where you want to go from here. You've got this magic item that you don't know anything about because you've not worn them or done anything with them. What a shame. But you can choose what to do now. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to talk to? Who are we seeking out in the wide world beyond these walls?
I mean, we got to go see the mayor. For me.
Yeah.
And Sir Curly is with the mayor, so that's 2 for 1.
Well, it's Sir Curly that you are looking for specifically. He just happens to be with the mayor.
He may not indefinitely be with the mayor, so we should probably go there first before he leaves.
Okay.
Right.
If that's what you wish to do.
I think my like I said previously, my little thing to do isn't necessarily time sensitive at this point.
Sweet. Well, we are currently in Merlin's tower. Now, Merlin does have the doorway open to you should you wish to teleport out of here. Now, it's your choice which of the cities you wish to go back to. Whether you're going to go to Dreidel or whether you're going to go to one of the other places that his house is also linked to. Imagine Hal's Moving Castle kind of a situation.
Sure.
Good.
Can I go to the flower meadows then?
So nowhere near Dreidel at all. Okay. Isabel's going to go on a solo quest.
Hunt flowers.
Love that.
I think it would make sense to head to City Hall, right? Is there something near there?
In Dreidel, yeah.
Which is in the town we're already in, yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. So you head up towards the portal. Let me just start moving you all over. Right, I just need to make sure because it blacks it out for me as well whenever I select you. So I'm doing this blind. Hey, there we go. So Merlin goes up to the next level with you. Inside, you see that there is a large gyroscopic stone-built machine. It has sparks of life and magic that sort of permeate this, and in the central circle, it ripples with like a shimmer, a gleam in the air, as if there is something physical there, but you swear you can't see anything. In the area surrounding this, you can obviously see all of these palms and glowing fungi, and behind you, of course, is the flaming doorway that you just entered through to get from the study to this place. This is the top room in the tower on this side of Merlin's tower, so the ceiling is cone-shaped to match the roof. And beyond that, inside of this room, there's not really anything else to speak of, besides the doorway back to the study and the portal here in front of you. Now, when you all reach a consensus, Merlin will lock it in, and you can each step through to where you were before.
I think we're going to Town Hall then in Tweedle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yes. I think we are at a
Awesome.
consensus. Thank you, Merlin.
We go straight through to Dreedle again. I will give you a moment for each of you to load back in.
I appreciate that.
Takes a little minute.
Do.
There we go.
Okay, I'm loaded.
Great stuff. Now you've got a you've got the directions for Sir Curly. You don't have the directions for Rumpelstiltskin. Where exactly are you headed towards first?
Up this way.
Yeah, you're gonna go up towards
'Cause
the
that's-
mayor's house, mayor's
Yeah, that's
sort
where
of
they
office.
told me the mayor
Taken.
lived.
Great stuff. So yeah, if you each want to start moving your tokens over that way, is there anything in particular that you are looking for or doing in particular as you walk down the city street?
I just kind of want to keep an eye on how people are reacting.
To what?
I mean, we're strangers in their town. Like, I'm sure they don't see a group of people looking like us come in every day.
Yeah, we also just came out of the mysterious wizard's house.
Well, this is true. They are all quite still despondent in their aspect. As you've experienced before, they've been a little bit. Should we say, not very energetic. They've been sort of behind in their steps to come and welcome you all and say hello. But yeah, I think that they remain in the same sort of emotional state. But yeah, you all head up towards this, do you?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, start moving all your tokens up there then. Now, as you approach the door, is there anything in particular that you want to be doing as of this moment?
Smelling the air for bacon.
Smelling the air for bacon.
Hmm.
These are hog folk. The
Bacon.
pig man. Is Katie still here? Katie, you had to go and make a phone call. Are you
Oh
back?
yeah, I've been back.
Okay, I've just been moving your token for you because I didn't know where you wanted to go.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah. If you just position yourself exactly where you want to be. Now, north of you, you see that there is a dock. To the left over here, there is sort of like just really like an artist's place. Like over the road this side. Easels and things and paint all over the door frame, with in handprints like an artist who sort of is quite careless about washing hands and things going in and out. But in a land where pure clean water is rare, that's not really all of that unusual for a painter. You see that there's a rowboat out there and nothing much more at the position you're all in. Now at the mayor's door, see that it's an old battered wooden door, but it's still made of, aged oak. It's something that's been there, as it appears, for a long time. Like this building has been here for as long as this station of mayor has been here. Now the door is closed. You don't know whether it's locked yet, but if anybody would wish to investigate, you will find out.
Are
Let's do
there
it.
are there any lights on or anything
the sort of day is getting towards evening time. We're sort of, say, like 4, 5-ish p.m. And the lanterns around the city are almost always on. They just are perpetually lit by some kind of magic. You know, in a world of magic, it's hard not to persuade an artificer to just make a permanent flame. So yeah, these lanterns sort of continue burning. Lights in the actual place itself. There is a shuttered window, but you don't see much light peeking through beyond sort of like dim candlelight.
Okay.
Well, this is the place we need, right? Should I knock on the door?
I think that's polite. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll knock on the door.
Okay. Nobody answers.
Okay, I'm stumped.
Okay, I'm gonna just check around for any traps or alarms on the door itself before I try the handle.
Can I peek
Cool.
in the window?
Yeah, you can have a look through the cracks.
All right, I'm gonna try to peek in the window.
Give me a perception check. Through the window, you don't see a great deal. It seems to be like a shape on the floor somewhere, sort of off to the left, but it's sort of beyond the crack, so it's hard to tell.
Hey,
bad
looks like
one.
there's
Maybe-
something big on the floor, like by the door.
If we try and push the door open, is it open?
Give it a
Or
go.
can we just shout at the door?
Shout out the door.
Hey,
It's
you
not Skyrim.
Door open. I don't think it worked.
All right, can we shout through the door and hope someone answers?
Okay, what do you shout?
Hello.
Can you open this door, please?
Give me a sort of persuasion check and then also a stealth check.
All right.
Are we all stealth checking?
I am just checking to see whether you beat the passive perception of the guards nearby, who see that some strangers have entered town and are starting to shout at the mayor's door. So the guards are going to sort of turn towards you, but aren't going to make any moves just yet. They have spotted the fact that you are yelling at the mayor's house. Office. Nobody. There's no movement inside.
About the front door.
Not that you can tell. It just looks like it's been latched closed.
I'm going to move towards the guards.
Yeah.
With the kind of intention of just inquiring as to whether the mayor is home, and like diffusing the situation a little, if that makes sense.
Great.
I'll do it then.
While Victor is distracting the guards, Ruby,
Yeah.
because she's a little bit angry, she's had a bit of a strange day. Because I mean, this day started with her like being like knocked out twice. It's been a strange day.
Yeah.
It's going to very hard, like aggressively knock on the door,
Okay. Go up to the door.
and potentially she's in her head thinking, little pig, let me in," but she doesn't say it out loud.
Okay. Go up to the door. Let's say give me a strength check. Like athletics.
Don't hit it too hard.
Smoky. What did you say? Strength or athletics? Sorry.
Athletics. This
Wow.
door just isn't going. It's not shifting anywhere, but it certainly makes a loud clatter. It's just sort of, it's a thick, hardy oak door, you know?
May I give it a shot?
That's up to Ruby.
Let me have a go, Ribs. Can I
Right.
call you Ribs?
After you.
Got a new nickname.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
That's what I needed.
Isabel, you ball up your fist and go to smack on it, and whether this is because Ruby has already, you know, sort of loosened the jar lid, so to speak, or whether it's because you just have, you know, a better swing on you right now. Maybe Ruby's just too much in her own head. The door swings open, and as you see on the ground in front of you, Isabel, there is the twitching body of a very resplendent hog folk dressed in finery, only minus a head. There is
down.
gushing blood coming from out of the throat hole. And the back door to this office seems to be open a creak.
Jeez Louise.
Can Ruby see this?
Yeah, you stood right by the door frame, yeah.
As discreetly as I can, I say, guys, we got a problem.
Should we get a guard?
Let's,
the
as we
mayor?
say that, let's go towards Victor and see exactly what Victor is saying to the guards. What kind of situation are we in here? That's a commoner that you're stood in front of. That's not a guard.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. I'm rather zoomed out, so I didn't.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
tell the difference
He's
between the two dots.
leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to be a part of this.
So I walk up to the guards and excuse me. Would you happen to know if the mayor is home? I mean to report some suspicious behavior.
We've seen suspicious behavior by the people you're here with. They're yelling at the mayor's house.
We were just trying to get the mayor's attention. We were told to he was the best person to speak to if we.
You don't seem so sure of yourself there.
I'm not one to tell tales on people, so I feel a little uncomfortable doing so. But a little goblin fellow by the name of Rumpelstiltskin gave me this weird shiny dagger, and I'm gonna just take out the glowing dagger and show him.
Okay. Okay.
And I know it seems a strange thing to complain about, but he asked me for no payment for this. And to me, a merchant doing this seems rather odd, so I don't know if he's committing some form of tax fraud or something like that, or if it's something I need to report as strange behavior to the head of your fine town.
Give me a persuasion check. I mean, you're not telling a lie, so I can't make this deception.
Yeah.
But give me a persuasion check. I mean,
okay,
if you
I have the same score for either.
Yeah, we're also not gonna throw in any game theory here and just game it by throwing in a random lie.
No, I know. I was like,
okay, they're gonna roll insight, the both of them. That guard rolls a 4, and this guard rolls a nat 20. So the second guard sees through your ruse, but the first one's a little bit hoodwinked by it. You know, that is pretty weird. Why would he do that? That's crazy. I'm not sure.
Also. I know it's not a crime, generosity, but I think this level of generosity is somewhat untrustworthy.
I'm just a little bit backwards about this. Well, listen. It's clear what's going on. He's trying to distract us from what's happening up by the mayor's house. None of what he said has got anything to do with the mayor. Why would you need to speak to the mayor about Rumpelstiltskin? He's a goblin. He does goblin things. Why you up here messing with me and my pally here?
He's a resident of the town. Where I'm from, we report all such matters to the mayor.
Well, I'm not so sure. I'm going to go check it out. And with that, we're going to go back to the mayor's house. Now, you are all... I keep calling it a house. It is an office. But I guess, you know, he's probably got to pull out bedrolls somewhere, so you can really argue that he sleeps at work. Now, in the brief moment that you have before the guards come up towards you, and you are hearing everything that they're saying, they're not hiding their intentions. What are the rest of the 5 of you going to do in these brief moments between then and their approach?
Ruby is very keen to So there's an open door in the office. So Ruby is kind of wants to
Yep.
zoomy straight through the office, kind of ignoring Curly, and actually go straight for the open door, which looks a bit suspicious.
At the back of the office?
Yeah, you said there was an open door in the back, so that's where Ruby
Yeah.
wants to go basically out and try and investigate or chase what's going on.
Okay. I will ask Ruby to give me either a stealth check or no, actually, yeah. Let's just go for a stealth check. See how slight you can be with your zoomy. That's very
Right.
good. A 24 is a
Hey.
very good stealth check. So then I'm not going to ask you to roll initiative against the person that you find when you go through the door.
Oh, okay.
There
Okay.
is a person stood there with the severed head of a pig in her hand. A half-orc dressed in sort of shambly rags, but looks spooked at the fact that a tiger has just run through the door at her. She goes to run.
I want to just catch her or try and hold her or
Okay.
hold person type action, basically.
So a grapple check.
Can we hear any of this?
You just see Ruby through the door. You can't see around the edge to where this person is. But you do see that it looks like Ruby is reaching out for something. So I would need an opposed athletics check between you and this person to see whether you can grapple them in the time it takes for them to get away.
Okie dokie.
16. Now I've not statted this person out. They are just flat stats across the board. So because I literally just made their token in the 20 minutes before we were about to go live. They are going to be just a flat roll then in that case. And unfortunately for them, they get a 9. So you grapple this person, this orcish person, or half orcish person. Is there anything in particular that you say or do in this moment?
Oh god. I guess in my head with how to grapple, it's probably like arm across throat against the wall type thing, sort of pinned that way.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then probably just one word of asking why. Just why, shouted straight into her face.
No! No! You can't do this! No!
Why? Tell me why.
No! I won't! No!
Why not? Just tell me.
No!
You're captured. What can you do? Just.
Everybody else can hear the shouting. Is there anything in particular that anybody else is doing in these brief moments, as the guards are certainly going to hear this?
I'm going to fly up and, like, hover over top of the building. Oh, I can't do that.
Okay.
I have to go through.
Guard 1, who is suspicious, is going to go and do a dash action. Guard 2, who is believing Victor, is going to stay behind with Victor.
Okay.
Because he's fully enthralled in this.
Like block him, but look like I'm accidentally doing it. Like just step in front of where he's about to run with the intention of like him falling over me.
Please tell me more about Rumpelstiltskin. I'm sure that I've bought some things from him, although my mind is a bit foggy on the subject. Now, I'm going to give you the time that it takes for the second guard to get to you. He's made half of his movement. He still has a dash action that he can complete. What are the rest of you doing? So Ash has gone flying.
I'm going to go and help Ruby.
Okay, so you can hear Ruby's commotion, yelling and wondering, you know, why? We'll just move Ruby out of the way so that you're pressing against the wall. Mars, what were you going to do?
This is the building, correct?
Yep.
To the right of us?
It is, yeah. Right. It is just a very small, sort of 5x4 building. It's really tiny. In real world, like, it'd be 20 by 25 feet, yeah.
It won't let me move in, so I can't see nothing.
So there's the door. There you go.
Ah, thank you.
It won't let you go through walls, but you can go through open doors.
Gotcha.
Oh, you've just closed the door.
Oh,
there you go.
Sorry. Aladdin's gonna step in, go into the corner here, and try and study the body.
Okay. Are you looking for a medicine check or an investigation? What is it you're trying to ascertain?
Well, clearly they were decapitated.
Yes.
But any other signs? So it's investigation, I think. More
Okay.
like what's the signs of struggle, if any?
Right.
And like, is there signs around the room as well that dictates, was this a surprise attack or were they having a conversation? Like anything? Can I tell anything?
Roll your investigation.
Yep. Just getting to that page.
So when it comes to this investigation check, I will give you one thing that you can find out. Because there were multiple things you were asking for there. Which one thing is your priority, and I'll give that to you. With an 11 on the roll.
An idea of the situation is
sort of general terms. What looks like what happened.
Yeah, kind of. What looks like what went down? Is there any stuff knocked over or signs of a fist fight?
Okay. Well, for free, with just your passive perception, you can see that there is an incredible amount of blood over the floor. It's now becoming sticky underfoot and sort of changing a little darker shade, staining the floor and all of that. The warped floorboards, it's going in between them and sort of dripping down into the ground below. The body itself has ceased twitching, but it definitely looks like there was some level of struggle. Being that this person's head has been removed and not in a very clean fashion. It's a bit ragged. On the desk itself, there are sort of just scrolls and papers, as you could imagine a mayor of a city might have. And beyond that, there's not really much else that you can tell besides that there is a vast volume of blood all over this place.
Alright. Can Aldrin make anything out on that paperwork?
I will make that a secondary action if you wish to do it while the guard closes in. So you would risk the guard seeing you go through that if you go for it. So you'll need to roll stealth if you want to do that.
Yeah.
I'll let you mull that over while I ask Ash and Briar exactly what they are doing.
Sounds good.
I am flying up and I'm gonna hover on the roof or like land on the roof, but
land on the roof, okay.
Right here on top of the roof.
Sort of looking down at the stranger and the two friends of yours, pinning them against the wall.
Discern if I need to interject.
Okay, I love an interjection. And Briar, what in particular are you going to be doing here?
I'd like to go into the room, into the corner here.
Yeah, just drag
I can't see, so I don't know if the corner is available. And then do a medicine check on the body.
Okay, yeah, sure. So give me a medicine check.
Yeah.
An 11 medicine check. This is for sure dead.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
If there's one thing that you know as a cleric and a medic, it is when a body is dead, and this is just totes dead.
Are you sure? Have you checked his heart at all?
I think he's really dead, guys.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go back to Victor just briefly to see exactly what Victor is doing with this other guard.
I kind of wanted to, as he set off, walk. I'm assuming he's running, right?
This guy is running. This guy is still with you, and he's very interested about this conspiracy theory you have against Rumpelstiltskin.
I'm going to basically what was I going to do? I wanted to block the other guy moving.
Him
originally, yes. I wanted to step in front of his path and essentially try and use my body to let him crash into me and kill us both over.
Well, then we're not going to battle, but I will make that an initiative roll. So if you just want to roll initiative against him and see if you can beat him, and then if you can, then it will mean that you can step in front of him. I've rolled initiative for him, and he got a 2.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have a +4, so.
So you rolled a 14. So yes, you can, but it's up to you what exactly you're going to be doing here. What kind of an action are you going to be taking against this guard?
I'm just stepping in front of him to like kind of awkwardly, conversationally block him from going anywhere. So
Okay.
I step in front of him. I'm like, please, look at the dagger if you don't believe me. Please. And I'm gonna just kind of like a little bit of a subtle hockey check.
Right.
As
So
he tries to move past me, basically, to try and knock him off his stride or trip him or something. Like that.
So I'll give you this as a deception opposed by his athletics to see whether he can muscle his way past you while you try to deceive him in your movements. Probably the most roguish thing I've ever heard, but yeah, we'll give it a roll. So you roll a 14 deception against this guard. This guard is going to try and outdo you, but with athletics. He gets a +1 to his athletics, but he's not proficient. And he gets a 9. So he's sort of stumped here. You're, like, blocking his path by, like, look at this dagger, look at this dagger. I know about the dagger. I'm trying to get to my mayor's office. This is literally, like, my one job, to make sure that the city officiant isn't dead. You're acting very suspicious right now. Please, I don't want to look at this. What even is that? That looks like a rat's dead body.
It does look like a rat's dead body.
Aye, but Seamus, listen to him. He's onto something about Rumpelstiltskin. I don't care about Rumpelstiltskin. I just want to go and check on the fucking mayor.
Okay. Would I have anything left to try and sleight of hand undo his belt?
Undo his belt?
So his trousers, like...
You can try... He's really onto you at this point, so it's gonna need to be a disadvantaged sleight of hand check. Okay. And I'm gonna make it a DC 15. So you need to... Okay, so you get a 16 on the first roll. Now do disadvantage to see if you can roll higher than that.
I forget how to do that.
You just click on the arrow down next to the number in the chat box.
Okay, yep.
Oh, and with a 14, he just catches your hand. Yeah, he just catches your hand. Listen, buddy, I'm not here for any of this. I'm not trying to look at your fucking rat corpse. Can I please get by? And will you stop fucking around with me trousers? At that point, he does get past you, but you've earned everybody else the opportunity to get one more action before he closes in on the study.
I was going to say, can I try to cast Hold Person on him? I'm on the roof. I should be able to see him.
You are on the roof, but you are on sort of the other side, and there is a big tavern in between you and him. So you are on a lower roof than the tavern roof behind.
Oh, okay. I was going to try to help.
The intent was there, but you've already engaged yourself in this one action. So what exactly is Ruby, Isabel, and Ash doing with this stranger orc? Half-orc.
Ruby wants to try and intimidate, so rather than just going, why? Just,
yeah.
I don't know, intimidation.
Is there any way I can help with that?
If you like. I am going to stat them accordingly. So we're going to change over for this token. So that I've got some actual stats in the health pool. So yeah, you can do what you need to do. What was the check that you asked for again, sorry?
Intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
So, so give me intimidation against their insight. Against her insight.
Both of us?
Well,
God, wow.
It's up to you. I mean, you can either give Ruby the help action by standing there behind Ruby and being sort of, you know, a hype woman, or whether you want to try and do it yourself.
I just moved my token so I could see, by the way.
Ruby, how charismatic are you?
I'm not sure that.
I am.
Yeah, I'm not sure that this is the moment for the discussion part of this.
Yeah.
that would be gaming the system. It's on you,
just, do
I
you
think.
wanna-
Whether do
yeah.
you want to do it or do you not want to do
I'll-
it?
I'll
You can
do
figure
one.
this out later.
Never mind.
Oh, a 3 and a
Wow.
2. The two of you just
I'm gonna-
like stand up with your arms wider to try and look bigger, and this person's just like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Just let me go!"
Just tell us why. Why?
You don't scare me. The head sort of is still in an iron grip, holding the hairs on his chinny chin chin. Ash, what are you trying to do in this moment?
I am going to actually land. Ooh, I closed the door. No.
So you're gonna
not
land?
there. I'm gonna land here and be
Yeah.
like, "I'd start talking, buddy."
Okay,
And
now
I'm
you
gonna
give me an
also
intimidation
roll-
check. Intimidation 16, and they are going to roll an insight against you, and they got a 15. For some reason, the two very martial combatants are not threatening in any sense of the word, but the fact that a big old bird person has just landed next to them, she's suddenly like, "Oh, where the fuck did you come from?" What exactly is your question?
Who sent you and why?
That's not for you to know. Now let me go.
It is. No.
You see that there's like a very thin trickle of urine going down the inside leg, but she's sort of trying to keep a strong outward appearance, but clearly terrified by you, the bird person.
I mean, I'm very scary. Look at me.
Burb.
I'm gonna actually cast Summon Beast,
Okay.
and I'm gonna summon that angry rabbit that I saw earlier.
Okay.
I want to summon it right here.
Sure. You mean the like giant rabbit
Yeah.
from the fight?
Yes, the one that was my friend.
Okay. Let me find that, I guess. I don't know if I have that.
Concerns.
Giant rabbit. There you go. Okay. So
And I'm
you
gonna be like-
summon. It's not going to be the same stats, but you summon like a very ragged sort of like malnourished looking rabbit that just looks very fucking angry and a little bit rough around the gills. But yeah, this sort of weird fucked up looking rabbit appears and like just looks like eyes darting left and right, like what the fuck? Where am I?
So I'm just gonna turn my attention back to the orc and be like, you know, that rabbit doesn't eat foliage. I'd start talking.
Why? What do you mean? What does it
Oh,
eat?
look. I don't know. Maybe it wants to eat some orc. Why don't you start talking?
Give me another intimidation check with advantage.
Oh no.
With advantage. So we've
I'm
gone from a
working on
10 to a 21. Okay, she passes out on the floor. Fully just incapacitated, just out for the count. And with that, we're going to go to the guard, who is starting to close in on the office. Now, in the last moments before he gets here, given that Victor bought you all some time, was there anything that Briar and Aldrin wanted to do in that moment?
Aldrin's snooping that paperwork best they can.
Okay.
So would that be investigation?
Yes, it would. And you would be over here by the desk.
Alrighty.
A 7. I mean, Briar, would you want to help Aldrin with this?
Yes.
Now that you've done your
Yeah.
medicine check and you've determined that this pig is definitely dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aldrin, you can roll with advantage as Briar helps you
Awesome.
go through the papers.
Thank you, Barry. Okay,
So, yeah, there you go. That's 22. So with a 22 investigation check, you see that there's a bunch of papers laid out on the desk about an agreement between the mayor of Dreedle and Sir Curly The mayor, it seems like they are gnomish by the sort of small pen strokes that they use. So the person on the ground behind you is almost certainly Sir Curly, the pig guy. But yeah, the papers that are here are all about moving some of the trees and foliage from the green waste, the forest,
It's your house.
and bringing them up here. So that they can potentially start to regrow some of the wildlife in the area after the Fae destroyed all of it.
Ash, is that your house?
Ash is on the other side of the wall,
Ash is
but
on other side of the
but
wall.
the door is open, so you could shout. That would mean that you would fail. It would be an automatic fail on a stealth check if you wanted to do that.
We're not gonna shout, but that's what Aldrin's thinking, and
Okay.
probably says it out loud at the table, just quietly.
Okay.
And then
As you say that, the guard comes up to the door behind you. You have seconds left. What do you want to do in those final seconds?
roll up the papers and keep them.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check to see if you can do it without the guard spotting you. An 8. He's going to roll perception as he's just walked up to the door. Unfortunately for him, he's been blindsided by the murdered pig on the floor in front of him because he rolled a 6. So you managed to get away with those papers being tucked into your in and about your person. In a very sneaky-fired way. You guys are pretty good at hiding things about your body, like Ruby hiding that giant ruby somehow in folds of linen for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, you end up with all of this. The guard comes up to the doorway and steps inside. What is going on in here? Where is the mayor? And who the fuck is this? And why is he without a head?
We don't know. We're trying to figure it out.
I'm not so sure that you're not involved in this. I'm gonna need you to come with me.
Where?
Can you hear this from outside?
Yeah, you can. He shouts out through the door, Phil! Phil! I need you! Get over here! Someone's dead! Phil runs over. Victor, you hear this as well. It's up to you what Victor does.
Victor is going to go and try to hide somewhere. Like down maybe this alleyway here.
Sure.
To the left. Wait 1 minute. I'm going to try and find a spot to hide out of everyone's way.
Mm-hmm.
Or out of so the guards don't see me, so I can just kind of keep an eye on what's happening.
Okay.
Because I'm not about to just kind of murder guards.
Yeah.
And I'd like to... Sorry, I didn't realise I'd had my mic out of my face. I was probably quite quiet then.
No, you were alright, actually.
Okay, cool. So yes, I am going to do that and just hide down here and keep an eye on what's happening, because I'd like to go and have a look around once I've established how much trouble my friends are in, basically.
Cool.
I am going to walk in here and be like, hey, we caught the person who did it. They're right here. And I run back out.
I'm going to roll a little stealth check, if I may.
Go for it.
Just so you've got that. For
a dirty 20 definitely beats their passives. And they're not going to... I think that they're focused on the room itself at this point, so they're not actively looking around for you. They sort of already felt like that situation was resolved when they walked away from you. But yeah, they're in and they're looking at Curly's body. At this point, Ash stepping in and saying somebody's out here. This guard walks up to the doorway and sees that a young woman is lying on the floor, covered in her own piss, unconscious, with three strangers surrounding, and a wild-looking, malnourished rabbit. He doesn't know what the fuck to make of this, so he's going to roll insight, and he rolls a 4, so he has no fucking clue what's going on. That, unfortunately, is not in your favour, because that means that he can't tell that what you've done here is an innocent thing. He steps outside and essentially makes to threaten each of you to leave. Look, I don't know what you've done in our city. I only care that it looks like our mayor might still be alive. I ask that you leave this woman unconscious where she lays, and I can question her when she's done. Whatever you've done, whether you think that you've done the right thing or not, you're not guards in this city.
No, we were trying to make a citizen's arrest to assist you.
Citizens do not get the rights to make arrests, and I will kindly ask you to cease and desist.
I thought
Look,
we were just trying to find the mayor.
And what are you in there doing by his desk? His desk isn't dead.
No, I was just getting out of the way.
Sure. Well, I ask that all of you get out of the way, so I can deal with this one. She'll be taken to the local jail, and we'll be asking her why she's in possession of a head. But as far as I can tell, perhaps you planted that on her. So I would say it's in your best interests to fuck off. And take this fucking weird rabbit with you as well.
Ruby gestures to the, I guess, sword or whatever implement the orc has and just goes, look, that what she's got is covered. It's covered in blood. Our weapons are clean. We have not done anything with this head. She's got the head. She's got the head off. We were just trying to capture her to help catch her for you guys. That's all we were doing. I'm sorry that we were interfering. We were just trying to help.
Well, that's as well as may be, but it doesn't even matter what I see. I've been stuck out there talking to some random bastard about some fucking rat corpse that he seems obsessed with. I'm just trying to make sure that there's no fucking mayor dead in all of this.
I mean, I don't think we've seen the mayor. Have you seen the mayor, Ash? Have you seen the mayor Isabel?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah, I need to speak to the mayor about my home.
We're gonna
we haven't seen the mayor, sir. We haven't seen him. We've just seen this lady with an orc, a pig head.
I'm gonna ask, Ruby. We're gonna roll a luck check. I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna let you choose odds or evens.
Oh, odds.
It's evens.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there's no sign of the mayor anywhere in sight.
Okay. I mean, can we? Do you need any help, sir, in taking this person down to the prisons? Can we just be of assistance? I feel like we've interfered, and we just want to help. That's all.
You know, you're right. We do need some assistance. He goes out front of the building and starts yelling for more and more guards to arrive. He catches the view of many of them that are walking past, and basically all of the guards in the area start converging on this area. You're right. You do need to have some assistance.
If he's gone, yeah, we need to loot. We need to loot that. We need to loot her while she's unconscious. If they've gone, then just gonna start looting.
Okay. Be quick about it. I'll fly up and watch.
I will give you one action each. No bonus actions, no redos, just a single action.
I am
because he's gone briefly to yell, and then you've got whatever time you want to make one action between Isabel and Ruby. What is it you're trying to get out of this body here, this incapacitated person?
Ruby is looking for any sort of notes type thing. So like, notes or like suspiciously large amount of money that could indicate a payment. Those two types of things is what she's keenly looking for.
Okay. Give me an investigation check. And Isabel, what are you looking for? Isabel? Are you muted?
I think she's just nipped out.
Sorry, I thought I muted. Sorry. I'm just seeing if there's any like footprints in the outside area.
Okie dokie.
That aren't ours.
Cool. Give me an investigation check. Okay. So Isabel, you see two sets of footprints besides your own. For one, you see footprints that match the larger feet of this half-orcish woman that have approached and then come out through the doorway. You've then also seen some very small footprints that have led out through here and go off further into the distance, but they've sort of... You lose the trail somewhere about 30 feet off towards sort of this corner. Ruby, you see a note in the inside pocket with essentially the name Sir Curly written as like a target. You don't see any payment, nor do you see any gold or equipment besides weapon.
Okay. Can I take that note with me?
You may.
Because has Ruby understood what was written?
I think that's up to Ruby. I mean, you don't... We understand that you're not as literate as most. So, I mean...
I'm just wondering if they are 2 words she's ever seen written before, to sort of know the context of whether she can read that.
I think, given your history in the training that you did at the dairy with Crimson, that potentially you would have learned the word target, yeah.
Okay, so I know
as in,
target.
like,
I probably would
target
know
this
sir.
area of the body, etc., you know?
Yeah, so maybe
Sir,
target maybe
probably
sir.
not. Sir and
Okay.
Curly, probably not. You might not recognize those, but you definitely know target.
I'll pocket it anyway.
Great stuff. So you pocket that. The guards start to swarm in. They want to take over the crime scene, and they ask that each of you relinquish control of the body. This guard comes in. He's a new fella that you've not seen, besides just wandering around the city. This guy comes as well, and the 2 of them start to drag this half-orc woman out front. At this point, Victor, give me a perception check.
Was.
There's something about this person that seems unusual, maybe even familiar, but you don't get to see much about it as they get dragged past.
Okay.
The other guards station themselves at the corners of the building, and they sound the alarm for murder. Now, at this point, I'll give you another perception check, Victor, for other happenings.
Okay.
They also usher Ash, Briar, and Aldrin outside of the house.
Okay, that's much better.
With a
I was flying above the
17,
house.
Victor, from the corner of the artist's place that you are stood at, you can see that somebody on the dock is climbing into a rowing boat and moving off north, sort of northeastish.
The boat has left.
The boat is leaving.
Okay. Okay. Do I see what they look like from that? Like, even like what kind of size they are or anything like that?
Like a sailor. Sort of like a sailor-ish kind of a look.
Kind of standard human size.
Yeah, humanoid.
Okay.
Humanoid,
Cool.
sort of just dressed in, like, everything looks like it's sort of washed in salt, you know, everything gets sort of faded by the sun and whitened by the salt of the ocean. Just a salty sailor kind of a thing. But they've seen what's going on and they are leaving this whole area.
Okay, so I'm going to use my, so 5, 10, 15,
Mm-hmm.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and they've already moved off the dock, right?
They've moved about 10 feet. It's not a quick thing to
So I'm going to use
row a boat.
I'm going to use my cunning action dash
Okay.
to make it past my friends.
Yeah.
Because the guards are all kind of posted up. So I'm
Yeah.
just flat sprinting
Great.
now. To the corner of the dock. To see, I don't know whether to shout after them or try and jump in their boat.
Your choice. You have to make one decision or another because they are moving.
I think that Victor, being Victor, would probably just try and jump in their boat and draw maybe a dagger. I think. Fuck, this is probably a bad idea. I'm gonna drown.
Give me an acrobatics check.
Sure. Okay. Okay.
What's your athletics score? Your strength score, sorry.
My strength score is, I believe, +2. Let me check. Sorry.
So is that 14? Are we talking?
Uh,
Without the modifier, what's the flat
I'm just
number?
having a look. Sorry. The strength. 15.
It's 15. 15.
Yes.
And you are 5'10"?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Okay. So your long jump with a running start is 15 feet horizontally, so you can make it into the boat. The question is whether, like, you can do the distance. The question is whether you can make it without capsizing the thing.
London. Sure.
Yeah. Jumping into a boat from 15 feet away is technically possible, but it doesn't mean that you can absolutely do it skillfully at every turn. So with a 14, I think that you are just shy of the mark, and you land almost perfectly, but then the thing starts to capsize, and you realize that you've landed well, but you've put your foot through one of the boards, and it starts to take on water, and the thing just starts to very rapidly sink. And this guy in front of you is not very happy about it. What are you doing? Why are you sinking me boat?
It's like every time. God damn it. Right, okay, deep breath. Okay. Why are you running away?
I'm clearly not running away. I'm paddling me boat.
Do I believe him?
Give me an insight check.
Okay, cool. Could do that. Ish.
You believe him that he's paddling a boat. It says nothing of intention. I think with a 12, you don't really get a with a 12, you don't really get to see much of his intent behind why he's paddling away. But as you start questioning him, you definitely feel the cold of the water creeping up your backside and up your back. As he also, you see the water rise up towards his chin. Well, that's done it. Now I don't have a boat.
Perhaps we should paddle the boat back.
Why? It's under the water.
It's mostly under the water. I think between us we can get back to shore.
As the old saying goes, when an orc jumps in your boat and sinks it, you leave it where it lie.
Okay.
He goes up towards the shore. With the insight check that you'd already made, you know that that's not a saying. But Victor is now sort of treading water in this patch of ocean.
I'm going to follow him back to shore. Shore.
Cool. Now, everybody that's still inside of the mayor's office, that would be Aldrin, and then Isabel and Ruby are still around the back. I think that at this point they would have ushered all of you out. Do you make away with what you've got, or do you want to try anything else while in plain view?
Ruby's gonna just head out, not cause any more fuss at this point.
Same.
Okay.
I mean, I've got some info we could come back later for, maybe.
Yeah.
Cool.
Aldrin's gonna follow along with orders and head out, not cause any more trouble.
Right. So you each head out of the study. Now Victor has cornered this gentleman up on the pier. He's still sort of stood up here. Yeah, he's still sort of stood up here. That was the closest point to where he was, and he's comfortable with piers and docks and stuff. It is now up to you guys what you want to do. This office is now closed off to the outside public. That includes you. I'll just get to drag your token out there, and we'll move Isabel around the front as well. What is Ash doing with the rabbit?
I'm gonna let it disperse.
Okay. It runs out the front, scares the bejesus out of this guard, who does a spin, which is a very slow spin. There you go. The rabbit continues further down, shocks these two guards into dropping the girl, The girl yelps as she wakes up, but is too dazed to stand or do anything. And we are now at a point where she is conscious, but not doing anything yet. She's just prone on the floor. You can see that from where you are. The rabbit runs off and disappears into the inner city. Perhaps taking up a new life in the sewer system. Who's to say? But these two guards are prone, and so is she. What do you want to do? You've got man on dock. You've got girl on floor. You've got guards knocked over. You've got
That's the dock. Okay.
papers to study. Up to you which way you want to go. The north is the dock where Victor is up here.
Ruby, after seeing the guards fall over and the girl fall over, runs over to the guards to sort of like acting as if she's helping the guards, but it's more to just try and, I guess, sneak in to speak to this person again and just offer help and like helping the guards up, but just sort of ask, what the hell are you doing to the girl?
As you can see, when you get closer, they had just put the head of the pig on her sort of as like a shelf so that they could do two for one kind of thing. It doesn't really make much difference to the murdered guy. He's still murdered. So, you know, just lob the head on top of her while you're carrying her. So that's sort of rolled away over the ground. You walk up to her. She's sort of still dazed. She looks up at you from the ground. Did you piss my pants?
How would I go about doing that?
Well, I didn't do it. I don't go around pissing my pants. Who would do that? That's stupid. That's ludicrous.
Why is it me who may have pissed your pants? Why couldn't it have been someone else?
Well, did the guards do it? Did you piss my pants? One of the guards looks very uncomfortable.
Is this your greatest concern right now? Your wet pants?
I'm wearing pissy pants. I don't want to wear pissy pants. I didn't come here to wear pissy pants. Or to be on the floor in the middle of a city. How did I even get over here?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Pissy Pants.
I flew over and it's like, yeah, I saw you piss your pants.
I'll let you have another intimidation check with advantage, given that you succeeded so well last time, Ash. Ruby, you can do whatever you like with your roll.
Okay, well, I mean, advantage was worse.
Intimidation. Okay, I like it. So Ruby tries another intimidation and gets a 3. Once more. Ruby's just not really intimidating today. That's 2 3s that you've had. That's unfortunate.
I think she probably just looks so strange in this like weird cloak she's wearing around.
Yeah.
She just looks weird, I guess.
Yeah, carrying a bit too much weight in a few places, in terms of rubies, not in terms of Ruby. But yeah, and then Ash walking up behind, landing again as a bird, and this half-orc clearly not feeling very comfortable around bird folk. Now you guys do know of a half-orc, Victor, but he's up north, dealing with this guy at the port. Up to you what you want to do with her in particular. What are we trying for here?
Yeah, I just came up and I was like, yeah, I saw you piss your pants.
Yeah, and you've sufficiently intimidated her. She's sort of just stunned into silence by the fact that you are there. You know how a lot of like kids just stop talking. She sort of acts quite like that.
I want to ask, so Mrs. Pissy Pants, where are you from?
And I'm just back up and I'm going to say, answer the questions.
Well, to be honest, love, I'm kind of interested as well, one of the guards says. You don't look like someone from around here. Where did you come from? Ironfront.
Ironfront.
Does that answer your question?
So what are you doing here in Dreidel? All the way from Ironfront.
Isn't it obvious? She gestures towards the
Might
pig
not be
head.
your only reason for being here. Sorry, Mrs. Pissy Pants.
For one, I'm not scared of you. I'm scared of bird person over here. So you
Third person
lose
has
the
a name, it's
attitude,
Pissy Pants.
cat person.
The cat person comment, Ruby definitely just wants to, I don't know, do something with her claws. She's going to
Okay.
try and do another intimidation check. She's feeling very embarrassed of how
Nice,
this whole
nice.
day.
Okay.
So can I do a sneaky little another one, please?
You can do another one, yeah. You'll need to do it in full view of the guards. So getting your claws out to do what exactly?
It's almost like it's like putting her claws out to then look at how sharp they are, that type of thing, like mid sentence looking. It's like when someone looks at their fingers, type of thing, like that. I
Oh,
know this is
right,
in full
okay.
view of the guards, but
Yeah,
that
yeah,
type
yeah.
of thing.
So you sort of
when
like...
you check your nails.
Right, so you're like
Yeah.
extending out a claw with a flex of a finger. Okay, yeah. Right,
Yes,
so
yes,
you
that
get
type of
out your tiger claws and you start
Mhm.
looking at them. Now give me the intimidation check. 16.
Bit better.
Ooh.
It's a lot better.
Well,
Yeah.
she's going to roll insight against both of you at this point, and she rolls an 8. So she is now terrified of the both of you. And she's still just lying there prostrate on the floor, like, what do you want to know?
First, start off with your name.
Aurelie. Anything
Okay,
else?
Who sent you here? Or
Some
is this just your own
person.
idea?
I don't know who. I don't think that they are an important person in the organization, but somebody from the Acolytes of the Hollow. I am one of them. But they sent me here with a target. I had to come and kill Sir Curly.
Is this a common thing that the acolytes do?
She chooses not to answer that question.
I said, is this a common thing that the acolytes do? And then flex her claw again.
At her?
Yes,
Question?
at her. Yeah.
Okay. Yep, she sort of flinches at that. Well, there was another one, yes. I wasn't involved in that.
So, who was involved? Who was the other one?
I don't know, I just heard wind. You know how you're not always aware of everything inside of your own group. Well, that happened.
That sounds like gas.
I don't know what you mean. I don't speak wind.
I think that must have been a very loud shout for Aldrin to have been heard from like 100 feet away. You're just yelling down the street, "That sounds like gas!" The guards around you are like, "Whoa, what? What the fuck is wrong with you, Pally? Why are you shouting? Go and speak to people face to face. This is crazy."
But it sounds like they're constipated. I'm trying to help.
Oh my god! And I was about to say as well, Isabel just sort of stood in the middle of the street, like, just twiddling their thumbs, I guess. While all this is going down, Victor, is there anything in particular that you're doing with this gentleman up on the dock?
Yes. Is there somebody with me who...
Yep.
Aldrin,
who's right
yeah.
next to me? Aldrin. Okay, cool. I'm going to look at the nice not at all piratey man. And
What do you mean by that?
oh, I didn't say that out loud.
I know, I'm
Did I
joking.
say that? Did I say that out loud?
I'm joking.
Victor's very confused because his internal monologue appears to be falling out of his mouth, much the same as mine does.
Great.
And he's going to say, "Now, if you could calm down and just sit on that post for a moment."
Give me a persuasion check.
If it doesn't work, I'm going to draw. If he starts getting a bit fruity with me, I'm going to draw a dagger
Okay.
threaten him, basically. Persuasion.
Oh, he got a 17 on an insight, but your persuasion is good enough. He takes a seat on the post.
Aldrin,
Yep.
do you have a weapon you could perhaps point at this young man?
I have a dagger.
Then
Hey,
please
now.
do so.
I don't
Please.
understand why we're
Stay
pointing
calm.
weapons at anybody.
But why are we pointing things at him?
I suspect he may have been a getaway sailor for our friend being taken away.
Oh, the
by
gassy
guards.
one.
Yes. Yes. So I'm just, if you stay calm, we have no reason to hurt you. I am just going to frisk
Good
you, as we
levitate
say
him.
in the business. And I want to pat him down, basically, while Aldrin keeps a weapon focused on him.
Okie dokie. And yeah, so Aldrin's up focusing a weapon. Great stuff.
So I
Give me an investigation check.
Sure. I suspect him to be a getaway driver, as it were.
Okay. With a 22, he's got a couple gold pieces. He does have, like, rudimentary dagger, sword kind of weaponry. But nothing in particular, nothing fancy or magical. And certainly nothing silvered. He seems to be like an old salt sailor. No particular affiliation that's obvious on his person. And he's a sort of wizened old guy. He's just got sort of wrinkles on wrinkles and looks like the sea has aged him.
The Streetle where you tend to make birth.
Where I make what?
Birth, where you dock and you keep your ship and it's your home
It's
base
not
of
my ship.
operations.
It ain't my ship.
It ain't your ship? Is it your captain's ship?
Arr.
Who's your captain?
That be Hammer.
Captain Hammer.
Hammer Grey.
Alright. Is this where they make birth with their ship? Dock normally, trade. This is their usual town of home.
This be where we docked for Sir Curly.
And only Sir Curly?
Arr.
So you were waiting for Sir Curly?
Arr. He be dead now, so we no longer take coin from his person.
Oh, so he hired you to take him where?
Here, and back again.
And where is back again?
Back somewhere north of Ironfront.
North of Iron.
Arr.
And how do you know? I assume no. You heard the guards shouting murder, and that was your cue to leave.
Arr. You get it now. Yeah.
May I see if I believe him again?
Sure. Give me an insight check.
Yeah, I'd like to roll an insight as well.
A nat 20. Victor gets a nat 20. Let's see what Aldrin gets. I'm just curious.
Insight.
Aldrin really is having a hard time just understanding what this all means.
Aldrin is having a hard time understanding how a sailor doesn't know what make birth means.
Like living in and around a swamp has not given you the tools to really get what ships deal. The dealings of ships.
Yeah.
In the modern day, you've probably experienced them in the past, but you've sort of kept yourself confined to your swamp for a while. So with an insight check of 4, I think that you probably are just struggling with the idea, the concept of hiring a crew to bring a person to and from. Whereas Victor fully gets it. Yes, he is telling the truth.
Why would you need to travel that far?
Exactly, he is telling the truth. They were hired to bring Sir Curly here from somewhere north of Ironfront. You would know that place to be Linborough Port. which is definitely a port town and certainly well known for its ships and sailors docking to and from. But yeah, you know of that place, and you know of ships of this kind. You can even see it further along in the water. But I'm going to give the crew of the ship a perception check to see whether they spot that you have taken their person here, and whether they are going to fuckety off. They get a 10. Now, what would we say are you doing for stealth? Are you trying to hide, or are you just standing out in the open?
I don't.
Doesn't feel to me like you are trying to hide.
No, I think because I feel that we're on a quiet part on the end of the dock and the guards are preoccupied. The only people I was concerned about seeing me were the guards. So
Okay.
until he just said, I didn't know he had a ship, basically.
Right.
So I wouldn't have been hiding at all, really. Like, other
Okay.
than being aware of the guards looking, maybe I wouldn't
Yeah.
have been looking out to see if anybody out there was
Right.
necessarily looking.
Well, with a perception check of 10 and an insight check of 7, the captain is oblivious. He's probably on the other side of the ship, probably on the starboard side, just, checking the sheets, etc., all the rigging, and just sort of making sure that everything's ready to go once this dude gets back.
Okay, and may I ask your name?
Flint Wester.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Bernard.
Give me a deception check.
Yes, deception.
A 21. I doubt that he's going to beat that, but he's still going to roll, and he got a 6. Ah, Bernard! And he reaches out a hand.
This is I apologize for the unorthodox greeting.
What's your passive perception? 13.
Yeah.
So with a 13, you notice that his hand goes to reach for your glowing dagger. He's trying to steal it from you.
I politely push his hand away, and I'm like, from one proficient thief to another, that's not a good idea.
Ah, you caught me. Ah, I can tell you're a good sort, you.
Then, could you tell me what Sir Percy's business was here?
Oh, you mean Sir Curly?
Oh, apologies. Yes, that's a little racist of me, isn't it?
Percy Pig, yeah. He had, as opposed to curly, as in curly hairs on his chinny chin chin, yeah.
Yeah.
He had business with the mayor. He spoke about relocating some kind of forest.
Okay.
He was a man of construction. Not my sort of work. But we got a lot of timber from him, so I knew that it was.
Then I will. Please accept my apologies for your boat. We were chasing down what we thought was an accomplice to a murder. But I will let you be on your way. Have a good day.
Thinking about it, with the nat 20 insight check, you could probably tell that there is more to his intent than just ferrying him to and from.
Oh, okay.
But you could probably tell that he's not a getaway boatsman.
Yeah.
Especially by the speed of his paddle. It's not exactly a very fast getaway vehicle.
Was there anywhere else you were going with Sir Curly?
No. Nowhere else.
Is there anywhere else, or anyone else that is traveling with you?
He narrows his eyes at that, and Victor, you can tell from your nat 20 that this is the area that he's hiding.
Oh. Who else was traveling with you?
No one important.
Then if they're not important, you could tell us who they are, and I'm gonna, push my coat back behind my sword. Just to
Give
show him
me
that
give me an intimidation check with advantage. We're going to say that Aldrin's giving you the help action on this.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
I
then
still
click
got a
the
dagger
arrow to the
pointing
right.
at this guy.
So a 17 intimidation is still very good. And he is going to roll insight to oppose it, and he gets a 3. So with 14 clear points of his insight check, that's definitely going to be enough to intimidate him. Look, what business that Sir Curly has on his plate is none of mine. I just handle the cages, nothing more.
You elaborate on cages, please.
He doesn't just deal in, well, didn't just deal in construction, you know.
Hey, Bernard.
A little further elaboration?
Are you holding the knife up to his throat?
Aldrin still has a dagger pointed at him.
Okay, so we've got a dagger and a sword. Is Victor going to just unsheath his sword, or is he keeping it in his holster?
I'll kind of push my thumb on the like hand guard to
Okay.
show a little bit of the blade,
Nice.
and lean in and bare my like lower canines
Okay, yeah.
at him a little.
Yeah.
Because I am orcish.
Pardon me for saying, I will tell you everything you need to know, but please step back a little. Your breath is something awful.
I'm a little butthurt by that, but I try not to show it.
Maybe brush those tusks every so often. You know that toothpaste exists.
It's all the onions.
You're not in a position.
Yeah, he stinks of salt and rotten fish and like just every possible smell that a sailorman can possibly smell of. And as you smell all of these possible concoctions, and not just alcohol, it's magic. So it's a magic world. So people don't just do that; they also do other things. For instance, if you take a look at his hands, you can see that he's got like these acid burns on him. Now, Aldrin being interested in acid and poisons, you would certainly be aware of the sort of the ongoing burgeoning desire that many people have to cause themselves pain for the pleasure that it brings. The clubs that you have seen probably in or around Ironfront, called the Red Square, where people essentially have tiny little block cubes of gelatinous cubes, where they, poke their digits in to feel the rush of pain and then pull them back out again. This seems like somebody who perhaps partakes in that, and it doesn't particularly leave a nice smell behind. But with all of that said, and all of these smells and images that you're taking in as somebody's phone vibrates on the microphone, you recognize that what he is going to say now is definitely something to pay attention to. Look, he recognized, I think, that construction material is not particularly needed in a world where people can magic houses out of nothing. So he put his hand to other things. Now, I'm not a judge of those things, but they may have included furs.
I was wondering.
Furs from what?
Tabaxi. With that, we're going to move back to our... and with that remark, we're going to move back to our tabaxi. Ruby, is there anything in particular that you want to say or do with this girl before she gets picked up by the guards and carried away again?
Yeah, I've been, I think, potentially got the info we need. Oh, actually, all right. Oh no, just before we left, I said who was so she mentioned the other one, and I'd asked who is the other one.
Well, I thought that you had worded it as in who killed the other one.
I think I said both, actually. I think I was like,
Okay.
Who was involved in the other one? Who is the other one?
Sure. Benefit of the doubt. All right. So yeah, she says, Big Red.
Big Red. Why Big Red?
It's not my place to ask those questions. I just get pointed where I need to.
So
I believe that you are taking me to the jail. Is that correct, guards? The guards all stand up with her. She is escorted, but you have time to ask one final question before she gets walked off.
Ash, throw over to you.
Hold on just a second. I had to clear my throat. Sorry about that. So, why have you targeted...
Listen, Pally, I'll wait for a moment, but if you're going to ask her a question, you need to start asking and not clearing your throat.
No, that was out of character. I'm sorry.
So, go ahead with your question.
Why are you being sent to the heads of these, like Sir Curly and Big Red? They're heads of major people. Why? Why them?
I will give her a history check at disadvantage to see if she even knows what. I don't know. I only know that I was given this target. That's all. Now, who was it that investigated the body again? It was Briar and it was Aldrin, right? Well, Briar, you did a medicine check at the side of the body. You would have noticed a couple of things. For one, he was wearing finery. Another thing, he was wearing a silver brooch, like a 4-point star. He had like a neck scarf that was... It looked like it was kind of like velvet, but almost just sort of like velveteen, like a fur. That was caked in blood, so it was hard to tell exactly what kind of fur. The pockets, he didn't have anything particular in his pockets besides like pocket watch. You could hear the tick of it. It was ticking a bit slow. It might have hit the ground when he fell. He didn't have any weapons on his body. Nothing in particular of that nature. No magic, no potions, nothing there. He just sort of was a well-dressed, you know, noble-looking person, if not noble character, you know. But yeah, you would have noticed all of that just from, you know, standing at the body's side. What you make of that is up to you, but essentially that's what we're at the moment. She doesn't know why Big Red. She only knows that those are targets and that she's part of an organization that was sent to deal with them. And with that, they get dragged off. She gets taken off to the jail. Now, is there anything in particular that anybody in the party is wishing to do now? Are you going to go and regroup with Victor and Aldrin? What's the crack?
I think at this point, if sort of realise that this is a bit futile, sort of try and work out where everyone else is and regroup.
I mean, I can say what I found, and once we've met up with the other two.
Cool.
I am going to come up to this guard right here
and
ask them where the mayor is then.
Okay.
If they've figured it out, because I still need to talk to the mayor.
I have no idea. Do you know where the mayor is?
Well, if I knew, I wouldn't be asking. Like, they're tearing down my home. That's the reason I'm here.
That's very suspicious. Perhaps you came and killed the mayor, or took him hostage, so that somebody in power would change their mind on tearing down your home. What's your name?
Smash.
Give me a deception check.
I panic.
My NPCs are rolling for shit today. With a 5 against your 11, he takes out a pad and starts like shakily scrawling something. He clearly isn't that literate, but he can make out the shapes of letters. And he starts trying to shakily write the word smash without fully grasping how it's spelled. But he makes note of it in his pad anyway and puts it back into his side pouch. Well, Smash, if I hear of any Smash-related activity in the area, I'll be sure to be knocking on your door. Should it not be torn down, that is. Be on your way.
I just back up. I'm just standing there waiting for the rest of my party.
So yeah, are the rest of you heading up north to join them at the pier?
Yep, heading up.
Sweet. So as you all approach Victor and Aldrin, you see that Victor has partially unsheathed his sword, and Aldrin is just fully holding a dagger to a sailor's throat. The guards don't seem to be too perturbed by this. They're sort of just chilling. And, you know, you see that there is a ship off in the distance. Now I'm going to give the captain of the ship a second check to see whether anything is going down now that there are more people appearing at the pier, and see whether he wants to fuck off anywhere. So we're going to give a perception check, and we're going to give an insight check. With his insight, he doesn't know exactly what is going on. He thinks that the sailor is being robbed, but he doesn't care enough about the sailor, and he has seen everything going down with an 18 on his perception check. So the sails start to unfurl. You hear the lifting of an anchor, and the ship begins to move off out of this port.
Okay, I'm going to try and commit what the ship looks like to memory.
Okay.
How
So
far away
That's
is the
possible, right?
captain?
the captain is stood at the deck of the ship at the wheel. Literally from you, 85 feet. So the ship continues to move onwards. Ships do actually, I mean, it would need time to get up to speed, but when they are at full speed, they do have an incredible speed against a person who is not in a vehicle and just walking on foot. So given enough time, this will outspeed all of you, but it is headed north out of the port. When Victor takes a look out of this ship, give me a perception check.
Okay.
With a 19, you see that it is it's certainly made of hardy wood. It doesn't look to be anything in particular as far as the damage to its hull or any sort of portholes in the side. It doesn't look like there's any portholes in the side for the lower decks. That's quite typical of a storage ship or of a ferry ship. You don't imagine that you've seen one like this quite before. There are holes that are sort of boarded up for warfare, cannons and the like, that, you know, in a moment of need that they would pull them out through these holes. You don't see any real signs of chains or cages from where you are. What you do see is on the side of the ship as it starts to move out of the port, painted along the back of the ship, it says "Final Promise." That's the name of the ship.
Cool. And sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Is this little boat here the one that sank?
Yes. It's
Okay.
fully submerged under the water at this point.
Okay.
So Ruby sort of come up with the rest of the group and
Yeah.
sort of noticing the swords and things, and sort of just asks, "What's going on here, guys?"
Is there any sort of like shallow water out
The
here
shallowest
that's
water would be
standable?
sort of 5 feet out from the sort
From
of
the edge.
edge. Yeah, it's
the
quite a
shore.
sheer drop into the water. It's why a ship of this size would be able to come in this close to port.
Yeah. that's what I was
Normally they
thinking.
would be quite far out. Yeah. So it's not particularly shallow at this point. No.
I'm trying to ponder if there's a way to get closer.
I would say
levitate the captain.
I understand. You've probably got moments until this ship is way out of all of your range. It's starting to pick up
Yeah.
speed quite quickly.
Misty
I
step,
don't-
levitate.
Misty
Like,
step levitate.
technically,
You
Yep.
might be on your own for a while until we swim there, though.
I mean, you say that.
Just
but
levitate the captain off the ship. They're in the water with me now.
Perhaps we can conclude our investigations here, and then ask our new friend if he could let us borrow his teleportation circle to beat them there.
Ooh, Merlin.
I mean, Ruby, I think, can jump this distance if she's given reason to. She
Jump-
just doesn't know why she
To
wants to
jump
jump onto
65 feet? You can jump 65 feet.
Yeah, if I use my key points and
Yeah.
do Step of the Wind, my jumping speed is doubled. My current
Right.
walking speed is 40. I have the
Yeah.
10 in coat, which makes me extra 10 feet. So I can currently jump 100 feet if I spend 1 key point.
Right.
Jesus.
I'm gonna need to see this in writing. Because I am struggling to believe that you can jump your whole running distance.
So
So your
Step of the
jump
Wind,
distance
it
is
says,
doubled.
It says, and your jump distance is doubled.
Right. But your jump
That's what
distance
Step of the Wind says.
your jump distance with your long jump with a run up
Mhm.
is your strength score. So if your strength score is 30, then sure you can go 65 feet. But you can't long
Sorry, I
jump
thought my
60
was
feet.
I thought my jumping was the walking. Sorry.
No, walking speed walking speed will get you to your run up, but it's not going to make the jump that distance. No.
My bad. Thought jumping was walking, not strength.
I mean, if I dashed with my fly speed, I can make it there. My fly is 50.
Yes. Now, while you are all discussing this, it has started to move, and it has gone another 50 feet north out of the port.
I think perhaps we ask our
Wow,
friend here.
wow, you really
more
didn't want
questions.
us to get onto that ship today.
You're literally stood talking for like 10 minutes about how you're going to finagle your way on board or get the captain off the ship. If you just made a fucking decision while it was there, then great. But I'm not
do
making
it.
the fucking ship
Sorry,
dawdle
DM.
around.
Character had no reason to go onto a ship she didn't know she may want to go on.
Well, this
to.
is
There's
true.
A bunch of clones
Yeah.
on there.
I am
No,
going
I
to
wanted
ask.
that.
I'm going to
I wanted
ask.
to do it.
We
One-
haven't told you what the ship's doing yet.
Let me
so-
ask one question
That's
of
what I'm
Aldrin.
saying.
Let me ask one question of Aldrin. Do you believe, in all sincerity, that you would Misty Step and levitate a person?
That's how they catch frogs. So why not catch a person?
So you would Misty Step out and levitate the captain off of this ship?
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do. Okay?
To try and have a conversation with them.
Right. Okay. So levitate is... levitate is a...
Yeah, that's why I'm asking
Right.
if this is possible, because it is a spell on
It's
self,
2
and
spells.
then
It's
a
2 leveled
spell-
spells. Yeah. So the ship would still get some movement speed in between you casting both of those.
Mhm.
So let me look up what a ship of this size would get as its movement speed, and we can go from there. Because any initiative, whether you go first or not, it's still going to go after you, and it's going to get some movement.
Yeah.
Vehicle. Galley. Speed. Fuck's sake, it's going in miles per hour. That's not fucking helpful, roll 20. Come on, dude. The fuck is wrong with you? Whoever uses that.
2.62 a kilometer.
I mean, I know a few people who might.
Merc.
Feet per round. This is what I wanted. God damn it. Okay. waterline length. So it's... Let me just measure what it would be. It would be 40 feet long, which gives it a movement speed of 70 feet. So in the time that it's taken getting its sails down, getting all the rigging right, getting them to shout out and make everything ready and start to move, Aldrin would teleport out midway there, and then fall into the water and be out of range for levitate. What distance is levitate?
60.
Well, by the time that you had teleported out
30
and
60, so
and
it
is
would be
65, so that would make it
90.
135, which would be 105 away from you. So, because a Misty Step is only 30 feet. Yeah, so you teleport out into the water, and as you splish into the water of the port, your companions look around and are sort of bemused by this, as you then realize, oh shit, yeah, maybe didn't think that one through, and you paddle your way back over to shore. But you can mark. I would say mark off the usage of Misty Step though for sure.
You got it.
So Aldrin, somehow the frogs continue to cling to you. These are some very snazzy frogs that you got from both the swamp and from Merlin's quarters. Now you each have the choice. The day is getting late. It is no longer sort of 5 in the afternoon. It is now, or in the evening. It is now getting later even than that. The day turns to night, and each of you start to see that the lights that are around the city do dimly light it, but not by much. This sailor that you asked, yeah, go on.
Oh no, I thought we were leaving the sailor. I wanted to talk to him just before I left.
I was just going to say the sailor that's in front of you is sort of like, look, we've been here for a while, and as you can tell, me vehicle is left without me. What do you want?
Yes.
I need to go and find some way back to Linborough.
I don't think. I think you should rethink your career path, perhaps.
I will do that, young man. Thank you so much for
for
your
now-
insight.
As I assume this is blood money, I will be taking this, and I relieve him of his coin purse.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take his sword and his dagger too, and then
Okay.
as I walk away,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just turn around and say, "Do better," and throw the dagger at his feet and leave him with his dagger and throw his
Okay.
sword in the water.
Cool. Nice. Well, let's do let's find a loot table for gold. Let's see if I can see how much gold you might make out of this. While I wait for this website to load that says loading for some reason, like it's a fucking PlayStation game. Come on, man. Okay, here we go. Wow, that's not a lot. You end up with I'm gonna add to that. I'm gonna say 2 gold. You get 2 gold. It generated 15 copper. I think that a sailor would get paid more than 15 copper for a journey, you know.
I appreciate that.
So you get 2 gold out of that. But yeah, this man is left bereft without any kind of way of defending himself beyond a dagger. And with no money to pay for any of his food. He will almost certainly die on his journey home. You've doomed this old man to death. But go on. Pop off.
He's doomed himself to death.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, you are all regrouped. You have yet to speak to Rumpelstiltskin. The time is nigh for you to take a long rest, however. The day has turned to night, and the night has turned to midnight. You each find yourself in a not so bustling city with not so happy people, where a murder has taken place this day, and each of you have had a part to play in its investigation, but not everybody has all of the information yet. You've each got little pockets of this, and I would suggest that maybe you go somewhere to discuss it.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe discuss it. Discuss
Aldrin
it
needs-
before or after bed.
Talk to
Yes.
Ash.
Do we
Okay.
have somewhere to stay?
There is
What?
a tavern / inn where you could just take up a seat at the tables there and fall asleep there if you don't want to pay anything. Or there is an inn nearby on the same road as you, down here where I'm pinging here, just south of you at the corner, where there are 4 beds, like 4 rooms. I can see all of your cursors moving around confused on the board. Just look south. Just look south. It's the second house south. There we go. Everybody's cursors going wild now. Okay, great. So you all know that there is this inn. It's got signs out there to say exactly what it is. And the door is not locked. There is a person behind the counter ready to accept your wishes. Whatever you wish to do, they will try their best to accommodate. Do you each wish to go inside and seek sleep?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
believe
sure.
so. Maybe something to eat and a conversation and then sleep.
Okie dokie.
Question:
Would
Who's?
be.
Am I the only one without gold still? Or money?
I have a
I
little
think
gold.
I think
I don't have any.
there's only 3 people who have any gold, I think.
Aldrin's
You're
broke
right.
as
So
broke.
how are we going to pay for all this?
I have
Let me
3
just
gold.
Yeah, I'm just going to add that to your inventory as well,
I
Victor.
have
There you go.
1 gold.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I
and
have
Ruby has a
nothing.
gold, but then Ruby also has 2 enormous gemstones.
I
Well-
am not. No, I've only got one.
No, because you got one from Merlin as well.
Yeah, he
You got
took
the
it off
necklace.
from me.
Then yeah, he gave it back. He flicked his finger and said, "Oh, fine, you can have it all back."
Oh, I thought that was just the frogs.
Merlin's
No.
a sweetheart.
Merlin's a very old man as well.
Maybe we should go ask Merlin if we can crash with him.
Yes. How would I know how long it'd take by boat to travel to Iron Front?
By
From
boat.
Roughly by
Ooh,
ship. Yes.
it would probably be a few days.
Okay.
It's a longish journey, but with a good wind behind you, and the north is quite windy. You know, from session 1, you would remember there's a big storm up there,
Yeah.
so the wind blows fast up here. So yeah, it wouldn't take much to get around the Cape because it's not really that far by land to get to Linborough.
Yeah.
It's Ironfront is by land after that because Ironfront is landlocked. It's not a port.
Okay.
So it would be more journey time by land, but that would only be another few days if you had a carriage. The thing is though that this is a sailing crew. They're not going to be focused on going to Ironfront. They are going to be going to a port to get some more money from other people.
Yeah, to the port. So we
Yeah.
probably, assuming that they are going back to the port that he told us was their home. Essentially, we would probably be able to catch them there if we teleported and then traveled a little about. the
Yeah,
same time they
potentially.
arrived. Okay, cool.
So it's up to you. Do you want to head back into Merlin's tower, or do you want to
I think we
go
should-
for the inn? Hello?
I mean, if
Hello? Are there people out there? We don't have any people taking beds. Please, I need the business.
Hello.
How much for a room?
Oh, a silver piece? Silver piece for
One.
How many
silver
are
per
you?
room.
How many are you?
6.
I can accommodate you. We have bunk beds in 2 of the rooms. We have 4 rooms.
If you were to include perhaps some food and board for the night, would 8 silver suffice?
You see a small tear drip down the side of their face as they slowly and reluctantly reach down for their lunch that they were going to eat overnight and pick it
Oh.
up and give it to you.
No.
Yes,
no,
I have some cold cuts.
I do not wish for you to go hungry either. We will find food, and we will pay the 6. Is it a silver per person, right? Not a silver per room.
It can be.
How many beds in a room?
2 beds in 2 of the rooms, 1 bed in 2 of the others.
Okay, then we will take all 4 rooms for 5
That's 4 silver. 4 silver.
Oh, please take 5, and I'll pay 5 silver for board for the night out.
They take the silver and pass out. They faint on the floor.
I
What is
think
going
they're
on?
hungry.
Possible to investigate this place? Like, this seems weird.
What do you mean?
It's just
Vibes off.
poverty, honey.
The vibe's off. Okay.
No, I just mean like an inn with no people in it and no one has stayed. Like,
I mean, you could give me an insight check. Or a history check,
yeah,
whichever one
sure.
you want.
I do. There you go.
Insight. Okay. This person seems above board. They seem to be telling the truth. Anybody else who wishes to do a history check or anything of that nature? With the insight, Ash's insight again is, yeah, this person's telling you the truth. They're just happy that you're here. History check. Isabel, you've not really read any history books about Dreidel or the inn culture here. But Aldrin getting a dirty 20. Yeah, Aldrin... so Isabel's 4 versus Aldrin's 20. Isabel, you just don't know much about the history of this place. But Aldrin, on the other hand, you've heard word from people that lived in the small swamp culture near you that Dreidel is kind of a dreaded place. Kind of, the clue's in the name. There's not really anything that people really come here for the tourism. So an inn in a derelict and destitute and desertous place with very little greenery and very little reason to be here, since it is a cursed city. Kind of makes sense that there's an inn that isn't getting many visitors,
I just think there's not too much traffic here from folks that would, stay at an inn. It's kind of a rough and tumble place, and the folks who are here don't really want to be here.
The person behind the counter comes to, collects themselves, stands up, gives you your change, Victor, as you'd only had the gold piece. So you're down to, what, a 2?
I gave them 5 silver. So
5 silver.
Gold.
So yeah, you've got 2.5 at this point. You each
perhaps
have
we
the
could-
privacy of the area.
Perhaps we should go to the tavern and come back to sleep after we've secured something to eat.
Oh, if you remember, Aldrin actually collected no, it was Ash, wasn't it? Collected a bunch of food and drink just off the side of the tavern while Friedrich was having his ass kicked. So you've actually you've got like days worth of it. And yeah, Aldrin stole a wheel of cheese. That's right. I thought there was something between the two A's.
Then if we have food, then we will have a picnic, I suppose.
Anything that you wish to discuss while you're here at this point?
Shall we
Before bed.
gather in one of these rooms, guys?
Yes.
Shall we gather in one of these rooms?
Oh, I don't wish to be in your way. I can leave. I can leave. I'll leave. He rushes out the door and closes the door behind him.
What the heck?
Oops.
Okay.
Ash's insight check of 18 from earlier. This is a very anxious person who's just happy to have business. Will do anything you ask them to. Waits outside of the door patiently for you.
We should let her know when we're done.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
She gets a little...
Yeah.
I mean, she's kind of nervous if you can't tell. But then again, Sir Curly was just killed, so I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you guys pick up about Sir Curly's body?
I saw some small footprints leading away from the back that didn't belong to anybody.
How was Sir Curly killed? I didn't see.
His head is
He
gone.
lost his head.
Oh, that sounds awfully familiar. Was the wound kind of
Messy.
yes. Okay.
Wait, what? Why does this sound familiar?
My friend who was killed, Big Red, died in.
You said Big Red?
Yes, I believe I've told you this before.
Well, the female that we stopped, which I'll let you tell that part, and then I'll jump to my part.
Oh,
No,
They mentioned Big Red.
they did. They said, I think her name was Aurelie. Said
Aurelie.
that
Yeah,
she was
really.
from the Acolytes of the Hollow.
Victor, you would recognize the name Aurelie.
Okay.
She said
from
that
the
she was sent to
orphanage. Yes.
kill
Yes.
Sir Curly.
From the orphanage.
I thought she looked familiar. Okay, I know her. And she...
You know the woman who killed Sir Curly?
I used to know her. I haven't seen her for over for a dozen so years.
What does that mean? I mean, she said she was an acolyte. Are you telling us you were an acolyte?
No. We grew up together. We grew up in a home together for children without any parents.
Oh,
She's
I see.
Oh, the
sort of
swamp.
my sister. Yes, I suppose.
Oh, okay. And you don't know, I guess you've not seen her since?
No. And he fidgets with
Okay.
like a silver, like a coin in his fingers a little.
Yeah. The glow of your dagger is fucking blinding.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I will try and rewrap it in my scarf and like put it under.
Yeah. It's so
Like,
difficult to do that. It's so difficult to hide the glow from this thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and find like a bucket.
Yeah.
Upturn it on top of the dagger just to shield as
Yeah.
much of the light as possible.
I'm just curious if any of you have got Identify stocked. You have Identify? I don't see it in Briar. Aldrin, do you have
I basically
Identify?
have sneak around and stab.
You don't have Identify. Okay.
No.
Interesting.
Wait, what?
Do you have
Spell Identify. To cast Identify to see whether you can recognize what a magic item is.
Why did
No.
I think that was Arcana?
An Arcana check. No, an Arcana check tells you
visual
the
loose.
school of magic
Just-
and like whether it is magical. But
I
like,
don't. I only have detect magic.
so even like an Arcana check, even that is trumped by detect magic, and detect magic still only looks at if there is magic there. Do you know what I mean? Like Arcana
yeah.
check is like the full title of Arcana check is History Arcana check. So it's like you're really just looking into your own knowledge of magic history rather than
Gotcha.
actually studying this thing as it is. That's where spells come
So
in.
it's not an assessment. It's just
No, similar
what's
to
your
like a
background information that
Right.
you happen to know.
yeah. So similar to like a medicine check. So we've had like
Okay.
characters in the past have been like, I want to do a medicine check to try and bring this person some health. That's not how a medicine check works. It's like an assessment. It's like a triage. Like I want to see where your wounds are and how bad they are. That's a medicine check. Doesn't actually give you anything at the end of it apart
It's
from
determining
knowledge
you
of
need
the
stitches, not
Exactly.
doing the stitches.
right. Precisely. So yeah, that's essentially it. You've all got a bunch of cursed items. You know some of their abilities. You know some of their deleterious properties. You don't really know everything about everything though. You would need to cast Identify on a bunch of them.
Yeah, I
And the
think
same with those
I'm
new
cursed.
shoes. The new
Yeah.
shoes. Although I am starting to maybe think that so that you don't just cast all of the magic items to one side, maybe I should retcon that and just put a tag on them that tells you exactly what they are. Otherwise, I can imagine people just disregarding everything that all of these viewers are doing. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll do that. Okay, so retcon, you the pair of shoes that Aldrin picked up at the start of this session, and we can obviously go back to your discussion after this. But the pair of shoes that you picked up, they are sentient shoes that always disagree about which direction to go, and they speak out loud about it. So they give you disadvantage on stealth checks, but you do get the added bonus of they can boost your walking speed by 10 feet, and that they are sentient, so you can speak to them. So one of them is called Link, after the German word links for left, and the other one is named Wretch, after the Spanish word reche for right. And they are known as the Great Mythical Moccasins.
Awesome.
I love it. I love that so much.
That's fun. That's real fun. All right. We
The
still
great
got
mythical
them though.
moccasin.
You've
Oh
still
my
got
gosh.
them. You've still got them in your inventory. You
still
just don't have
got
them
'em.
equipped. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the moment you do, there will be voices for both.
Awesome.
God.
Now, you've discussed some of what happened with the body. Have you discussed anything about the sailor?
So our friend at the dock was working with Sir Curly.
Mm-hmm. Hired
and
by him.
Yes, they he was essentially his, I believe,
Transport.
his transport back to the ship, and they are traders of furs. And I apologize, Ruby, if this is unpleasant to hear, but of other tabaxi.
He.
Ruby just looks away and doesn't engage.
So yes, they are not very pleasant people. Yes. So I'm starting to think that's why Big Red was murdered, but I don't know why they would have.
What use for bacon would there be other than to eat bacon? Wait, that was insensitive. I'm
Oh
sorry.
wait,
But
they were traders. They didn't kill Big Red.
no, the sailors were just a transport for Curly to get
Yes.
here, and then back to past the Iron Front, and that's where
Yes, it was.
there was something else about Iron Front.
I'm from Ironfront.
You're from Iron Front,
That's
so that
where-
means that girl's from Iron Front.
Yeah, she told us she
Yes.
was from Iron Front, and it was the acolytes that killed Red, not
Yes,
Sir
they
Curly.
killed Red and Curly. So perhaps the
Yeah,
acolytes
could.
are trying to stop this fur trade.
The acolytes might be at Iron Front, is what it kind of sound like, or past it.
Yes.
They didn't like Curly. And then Ash, I have something to show you. Aldrin's gonna go ahead and pull out that paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
I found this here, well, at the office. And it says something about trees and cutting them down and a contract.
Ooh,
And that made me think of your house.
That sounds like my house.
So maybe you want to take a look at this paperwork and see what you can get from it.
I would like to
And
study that.
I'm gonna
Okay.
hand over that paperwork to Ash.
So speaking of which, I will give you an investigation check into the paperwork every time you take a long rest. The
Sweet.
DC will reduce every time you hit above a certain level, and then when you eventually get the final number, I will let you know exactly what is inside of all of those papers. We did this similar thing in last campaign with one of our players here seated to find out the full translation of a very badly written letter. Somebody's handwriting was incredibly bad, and it took them. Yeah.
Can
Yeah, I
Aldrin assist with these checks?
Yeah, sure. You can give advantage.
Yeah.
And you just need to get over a 20 on each of your investigation checks each evening. And every time you do, the overall total will reduce until eventually you hit that.
Gotcha.
And that's how we're going to go. So, with long rest in mind and with the time in mind as well, are we all headed to bed? And which people are going to be bunking together?
I'm ready for bed. I don't mind where I'm bunking.
I'm gonna do my investigation.
So the bunk beds are the first from the left and the third from the left, and the other two are single rooms.
I am happy to take a room by myself if some of you would feel safer sleeping together.
Who would take the one by the door?
I think maybe Ash and I would end up being together, going over this paperwork for a little while.
Sounds fair to me.
So maybe we'd take a bunk room.
I'll bunk with Ruby. If she wants.
I was going to say, I think that would probably be on Ruby's mind anyway, for the fact that Ruby has this secret mission to look after Isabel.
Yeah, Ruby would probably just follow Isabel type thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we take the one closer to the door.
Yeah, because we're the muscles.
So then we've got Ash and Aldrin in there, and then we've got Ruby and Isabel in there, Victor in here, and then that leaves Briar in there. Make sense to everybody?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
makes sense to me.
If everybody would like to go onto their character sheets and just click long rest, and you will all level up to level 4 before next time. Your first level. First level, we've hit a milestone. 2 people have been murdered.
Congratulations.
Yeah, my
everybody.
investigation is
Nobody's
not good.
dead and we leveled up.
Nobody's dead, and we leveled up. You
Yeah,
don't
we
forget,
need
you
to
get
have
that with
to-
advantage. There you go.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
you got a dirty 21. Nice. Okay, so that's going to bring down the overall DC. You don't quite get a lot from this right now, Ash. You're not really into the whole, like, you know, commerce level deforestation, so it's kind of hard for you to figure this out on your own. Aldrin's doing their best to help you out as well, but neither of you really are into that. You're not really in the construction business or the building business. You both come from a forest and a swamp, respectively. So,
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
this is
That
not
says
really your
tree.
area.
Yeah,
But
I see, it says tree. And
yes, but you can recognize the fact that there are maps and you can tell what parts are what, and that helps you to start to figure out exactly what is going on here. Now,
Can
as
see
we...
Ash's house.
I don't think it's been marked there. I don't think that they would mark a certain person's house in a big
like,
area of
can
forest.
Ash tell their area on the map?
I would say you would probably need a further check for that. That
Okay.
you've figured out where this whole map is, and you can see markings of certain areas. You would need to do another night's investigation to figure out what parts exactly it's pointing to. But it's certainly a big swathe of forest, yeah. Has anybody else got anything on their mind to do before they head off to their long rest? I know, Isabel, you've got that book in your book bag. Are you going to be reading any more of that?
Of course, and I'll probably knock myself out with it as like
Lovely.
it drops on my head or something like you do.
Nice. Ruby, any thoughts on...
Before Isabel knocks herself out, Ruby gets out the piece of paper and just shows it to Isabel and just asks, "Hey, does this say what I think it says?" Knowing that Ruby doesn't know what she thinks it says, but just passes it to Isabel.
I take it and I read it.
Okay.
Read it out loud. So.
It says target Sir Curly, and it has like a small drawing at the bottom of like a noble-looking pig in finery, just so that you know, like a general idea of what this person should look like when they find them.
What the rest of his head looks like?
Yeah, and then across the image there is also a red line that indicates remove the head, essentially. Like an IKEA set where it's like cut here, you know. So yeah, you've got that kind of a thing. Briar, is there anything that you're focused on during your long rest? You have obviously the 2 hours of downtime during every long rest.
Not anything particular, no.
Okay. Is there anything that you would sort of go about to initiate this level up? Like a prayer to your god or anything like that? Anything that you would ask
we
of them?
Say that I think I chose the god of ear.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really quite sure. It's EIR.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of pray for guidance and a blessing of, good medical adeptness, clerical adeptness, I guess.
Lovely. Great stuff. And Victor, anything that you're doing before bed? Reminiscing on your times at the orphanage or ruminating on the idea of caged cats?
I think he's going to take out a small kind of pocket notebook and like his
Nice.
investigation notes essentially, and
Great
just
stuff.
start kind of writing down some of the details of the day. He also has you see him kind of fiddling around with the name Daitsu Moss because it's been kind of bothering him in the back of his mind, and he's like basically doing an anagram.
Yeah.
And he just writes down at the bottom of the page after a while, like ST dot Asmodeus ? And then kind of puts his book back in his coat and hangs it on the end of his bed and goes to sleep with a dagger in his hand, but not the rat dagger. That is wrapped up as much as possible.
Definitely is keeping you awake.
Under his bed. Yeah, it's under his bed. So
there's a very low cast. Yeah, there's a very low cast light that sort of like casts its way out from underneath the bucket because every bucket has a handle, so it's lifted up slightly from its flush edge. And yeah, you definitely see that there's a very low light, but it's a very high glow.
Yeah, he ties his neck scarf around his eyes to act as like a blindfold, and goes to sleep with his notebook on his chest and a dagger kind of in his hand.
Love that. Great stuff. Okie dokie. So as each of you head to bed, as all of you find your rest and find your time alone in your peace at the end of this very busy, very bustling day, there are certain people, certain thoughts that go through each of your minds. Aldrin thinking perhaps about the swamp and about what would happen if the trees got ripped up from yours. Briar perhaps thinking after Ear, and please, grant me the wisdom and the practice to know where and when I can affect a person's health and welfare. Ruby perhaps considering the idea of being in a cage and the sort of detriment that had on your literary development. Isabel perhaps thinking on the book in your bag and maybe trying to figure out some of the puzzles therein. Victor on the orphanage and Ash on the forest. And as each of you close your eyes and lay your heads down on these sort of rough straw-filled bunks, the light fades for one of you in your room. The flame snuffs and the wind blows. The dim light that was once in the room fades down completely to black. A cluster of eyes open to your left side, and you hear a voice that says, "It's been a while, hasn't it, dearie? I would very much like to be your friend." Ash, how do you respond to this?
Oh, that depends on what you want. Who are you?
Oh, we're going to have such fun together. And with that, we're going to end the session.
Oh my god.
Thank you so much, everybody.
I just threw my notebook and knocked my drink over. One moment.
Oh no, Ash, you've been contaminated.
Oh no.
Oh no!
It's just glad for like a quiet night for once, I think.
Yeah.
Ash can deal with it instead.
I think Ruby might have thought that was going to be hers. No.
I thought it was going to be me for a second. So.
Well, I suppose it's lucky that Aldrin only needs 4 hours of sleep, but like...
Yeah, that's true.
Is Aldrin awake right now? That's the question.
We'll have to find out next time. Did everybody enjoy that session?
Yeah, that was fun. That was super fun.
Yes, thank you.
Cool.
I like that I made an orc piss their pants.
Harmful.
Harmful. You were like, "Did you piss my pants?"
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm out.
Yeah.
That was my highlight of the...
Yeah. Did you piss my
I had
pants?
to mute. I put in the chat, I was like, I need to go on mute.
And the pirate voice as well. I think that one got you.
You get me with one accent every session. Because I'm not always expecting them. I don't know why I didn't expect this one, if I'm
Yeah.
honest. You basically said he was going to be a pirate before I even spoke to him.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for being here.
Thank you.
Players and viewers alike.
Thanks for hosting.
So, no problem. Sorry if I didn't have much energy about this. I'm just sort of, as we discussed, not 100%.
That was apparent to anybody.
That was
To be
awesome,
honest, I think
Dave.
you did great. Yeah, I don't
Nailed
think there
it.
was. Yeah.
I'll take it. Well, I'm gonna go. I have some physio exercises to do for my shoulder. But with not many of us here, I think I'm gonna leave the raid for the time being. But thank you everybody in the chat who was here on Ash's stream and mine. It's been lovely. But I'm gonna head off. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for being awesome. We're gonna be here same time, same place next week for session 6, and hopefully by that point y'all will have decided how you're going to level up.
I'm going to do that right now.
That's cool. I've got D&D Beyond importer working again. That's been on this whole time, as well as the other module that I've needed that actually caused the error in the last time that the error happened, last session, with the NAN bullshit. I've solved all of that. So thankfully you can do your level up through D&D Beyond, and then we can just import it before next time.
Okay.
And
Cool.
if some of us have forgotten our passwords.
Passwords for
D&D Beyond.
Oh, D&D Beyond. Well, I mean, it's is it yours that you're doing it through, or is it Stee? Because I think Stee has the overall thing, don't you?
I
don't give you the password. Yeah, I just give you the link for you to add your character
not only to
use the books that I've got on D&D Beyond, basically.
I forgot which email I used. Well, I've got 3 emails, and I don't know which one I used.
Oh, I've got like 7. I don't envy me.
You can just rebuild if you need to. If you just set a new account up, it'll let you do it through on the campaign again if that's easier than trying to find it.
Yeah, man. In the meantime, I'm gonna call it here for me. Thank you for being here, everybody. Thanks for being awesome, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
Good night.
Till next time. Bye.
Bye.